This is the Dominar 250. And you really don't have to come close and read the D250 badging on its tail to tell it apart from its 400cc twin, because this, the red color, is exclusive to the Dominar 250. And what else is different? Let's find out. Let's start with the tires. 100 section front, 130 section rear, compared to the Dominar 400, which has 110 front and a 150 section at the rear. You also look at the upside down forks. They look similar to the one that you get on the 400, but these are slimmer. They are 37 mm, and the ones that you get on the 400 are 43. Then of course the disc is slightly smaller, 300 mm compared to 320 mm. And of course the engine. The engine is completely different to the 400. It is a 250 and it makes around 27 bhp compared to almost 40 bhp of the 400, and the peak torque is down to 23 Newton meters against 35 Newton meters that the Dominar 400 churns out. It also uses one less spark plug, 2 instead of 3 on the 400. So is the Dominar a better buy now in the 250cc avatar, especially when it's going up against the likes of the Suzuki Gixxer 250, the Royal Enfield Classic 350 and the Java 42? So here are 5 things that we feel work in the motorcycle's favor and 2 that don't. No two ways about it. The Dominar has tremendous road presence and it looks even better in the flesh. The whole muscular but compact theme makes it stand out, no matter what the surroundings or the company. The muscular looking tank, the short tail and a headlamp that's aggressive but in line with the tank helps here. Plus the fact that the bike actually finishes between the wheel axles, well, almost, gives it a very soothing, very likable aura. One can actually buy the Dominar 250 just for its looks. Now the Dominar might not look it, but it is in fact quite an easy motorcycle to ride. You've got a clutch that's really light, the pull. You've got a throttle that again is quite light, so there's not much effort required when you're operating the controls. The pillion seat, it's low, so it's very easy to swing your leg over. And then when you get on board, you've got a rider seat that's 800 mm, so I'm 5'9" and I have no problem in planting both my feet firmly on the ground. The handlebar, easy to reach, wide, gives you leverage when you want to ride. And then the foot pegs, more neutrally positioned than being forward set or extremely rear set, so it makes for a very comfortable seating triangle. And the shape of the tank plus the heel plate design allows you to comfortably hook onto the motorcycle, especially when you want to ride spiritedly. It also has a pretty plush ride. The Dominar 250 rode over almost everything the monsoon affected Mumbai roads threw at it with calm and pliancy. It's not harsh to leave you with jarring arms or a sore back, and it's not exactly soft either to wallow over every undulation, bump or pothole it encounters. But yes, over sharpish potholes and squarish bumps, the front can bottom out, and the rear, it does tend to skip about. But again, nothing alarming. Now for all the talk about the Dominar's weight, especially for a 250cc motorcycle, it actually handles pretty well. It's not as quick as, let's say, the Suzuki Gixxer 250, which is a much lighter motorcycle, but the Dominar doesn't feel, slow or lazy or laborious when you put it into a corner. You push and it goes. So there's no lag, there's no vagueness, no disconnect in that sense. But yes, I mean, it does require a little more effort, but you get used to it. So especially for a motorcycle, for this weight and this long wheelbase, I think it handles pretty well. In the city though, it's not one for quick direction changes and fast filtering. You need to plan your moves, and if you decide to do some spirited filtering work through traffic, it will leave you tired. Brakes meanwhile are fine for the performance the 250 packs in. These work well at low speeds and have good bite and feel and progression, but at higher speeds these seem to lack the power needed to haul the bike's weight down. As a result, one needs to squeeze them hard, which can give you an aching right wrist after a while. There are a fair amount of features you get with the Dominar 250, especially if you look at the competition at this price point. There's the full LED lighting setup from the headlamp to the turn indicators to the tail lamp. There's digital instrumentation with the telltale lights on the fuel tank. There's liquid cooling and a 4-valve head setup. You also get upside down front forks and a preload adjustable rear monoshock for suspension, and of course there's dual channel ABS. The others in this class have either this or that, but not all as a package like the Dominar.
If there's one thing that Bajaj seems to get right, it is the price-performance equation, especially for its premium category of motorcycles. Now, it started way back with the original Pulsar, the round headlamp Pulsar, and it carries over to the Dominar 250 as well. Now, this one is 1.6 lakh rupees and you get 27 horses for that. I think in my book, that's plenty horses for this sort of money.
The engine here, a 250cc single, is borrowed from the KTM 250 Duke. But it's not a lock, stock and barrel copy-paste job. It gets 2 spark plugs instead of 1 to begin with, plus the internals are different. These are possibly heavier and less exotic, and as a result, the bike makes less power and torque than the Duke. But it is also more rideable and cheaper to buy. Having said that, the Dominar is still the cheapest, most powerful 250 out there, barring the more expensive Huskies and Dukes of course. On the road, the engine is smooth and torquey. There isn't a lot of go under 5000 RPM, but beyond that, the Dominar 250 turns into this eager, easy revving motorcycle that's both happy and involving to ride. Plus that engine is smooth and nice sounding, so you don't really mind revving it. And the gear shifts too, light and precise, well, for most part are agreeable as well. And if you're worried about vibrations, well, there aren't many. There's a hint of tingling at the bars that's omnipresent, but nothing to put one off.
It's time now to address the elephant in the room, and that is the Dominar's weight. Now, for a 250, it weighs 180 kgs. That's just 3 kgs lighter than the larger engine, more powerful Dominar 400. And that's because I guess it shares a lot of bits and pieces, but for a 250, heavy. So, if you want to move it around while parking it, now in our case, we've got a slight uphill. So it takes a lot of effort to push it and get it to some place. And if you want to turn it around at the spot, then again, because of the way the lock to lock is, there's a lot of effort that's required to even turn it around, unless of course you can lift it, and that again is not so easy, and then turn it around. Even while riding at slower speeds, because the weight is so much at the front, the handlebar, if you are anything slower or around walking pace, the handlebar just likes to flip-flop on the side, which means you're constantly trying to keep it straight, and that's just a lot of effort.
In today's day and age, it's not enough to give just digital instrumentation, which is exactly what the Dominar offers. There's a speedo, a rev counter, a clock and 2 trips, but that's it. At a time when most bike makers are offering Bluetooth connectivity, turn-by-turn navigation and a trip computer that throws up readouts like average fuel economy, speed and time taken, the Dominar 250's instrumentation seems like it's stuck in the past. It also doesn't get a gear indicator. The Dominar also needs an effective visor up front. The current setup just can't hold the wind at bay, even at 100 km per hour, which for a bike meant for touring is quite odd. The wind interference can also get very irritating very quickly on the Dominar 250.
The Dominar 250 is a very likable motorcycle. Yes, it could be lighter, it could do with a better visor for better wind protection, it could have a little more power on the brake, especially when you want to slow down from high speeds, and it could do with some more feel-good features. But as a motorcycle to own and ride every day, maybe even take it to the switchback or twisties over the weekend, the Dominar 250 really works. I mean, it's comfortable, it handles well, it's got performance, whether you want to overtake or want to ride, at a decently high cruising speed, maybe even 100 kilometers per hour, even 120 if the rules allow, it works. And especially if you want a motorcycle that really stands out and it allows you to flaunt your wares, well, just look at it. It works.